Hey, Jefi, a beautiful day here, and I'm just chuckling at the little experimenter that you are. I'm surprised
the system creator.
I'm surprised you don't have your lab coat on. So everybody, here's a little backstory on this. So if you listen to our last podcast on calendar and scheduling, we were doing show prep on that, and we're talking, and again, big picture, like I know a lot about Jefi's business, her systems and her people and the things that are going on, and we collaborate on a lot of stuff. So I like to think like I'm fairly tuned in on what's going on. So we're talking, and she says, yeah, well, Google Voice is just going to be huge. It's changing everything. And I'm like, Google Voice, what's going on there? And she kind of pauses and she says, well, I was going to tell you about it, but I've been working on it for the last 30 days. And I just got this like mental picture of like Jefi in a lab coat with like a pen behind her ear, like in a clipboard, like leaning over Raquel, like, okay, how's it going here? And tweaking away. It was like, I'm thinking it's like a scene out of James Bond and Q, where they go into to see like what the latest killer technology is going to be. So, and the really funny thing is she then showed me what she's been working on, and I mic dropped and walked away for a little bit because it blew my mind. She looked at me and my face was just like gawking. I was like fish mouth open. And then my brain's like just exploding on all the different things that we could do with this. And she'd been holding it back for 30 days. So
all right. Well, because I love creating things that work for me. Like I'll tell you, this is a funny one. This is way back in the day. I had clipboards on my wall. Imagine like 30 clipboards stuck on the wall, and I would stick the MLS sheets into the clipboard so I could see everything that I was working on at the time.
This is like a scene from Homeland. Did you have like strings connecting everything? And would you stand back?
Okay. Yes. And then I had the folders that you put inside the what do you call that? The filing cabinets.
Yeah.
And then I would have sticky notes of all the names, and I would draw lines to people. This person would buy this property and this person could sell. And it was crazy. And here's the funny part. I don't watch TV, so I'd never seen that on TV. I just like pulled that out of somewhere. But anyway, so a lot of times, Mr. Billings, I will be creating things in my mind and see if they actually work. And then if they don't, then I don't even talk to you about them.
Yeah. In the movies, it's like the scene where like they enter the person's room and they're like, oh yeah, this person's crazy. We got to get them.
This is a serial murderer.
So we're having way too much fun here about Google Voice. So all right. That's the backstory. So why don't we zoom in on what's going on here?
Okay. All right. So Raquel, God love her, that woman, she puts up with me because she's the one that has to go through all the things that work and don't work. So when I told her that we were going to use Google Voice for my signs and my anything to do with agents contacting me about listings, because, for example, I had a listing go on the market right before Christmas. And okay, I just want everybody to know, this is January 2023, when everybody says the sky is falling. We had 29 offers.
Oh my
gosh. So with those 29 offers, I had about 100 showings, 100 contacts, 100, blah, 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 blah. So to keep my cell phone from losing people and not having contact, I created a Google Voice number where Raquel can have it up on her screen. I can have it up on my screen. We can see all the voicemails and the texts. And between the two of us, we can respond to everybody and make sure they're taken care of. Because my number one goal is to never let anybody slip through the cracks. And when you have that much contact in a very short period of time, it's really easy to lose things. And so we have two eyes on there, and Joe gets in there too. But her face, when I told her, she's just like, oh, God, another phone number.
Yeah. I can just see her like
3
looking.
email addresses. And yeah, it just... But this, I have to say, this is a 10 out of 10. And there's many different systems. I looked into a couple other systems besides Google Voice, but I felt like just because I was already so entrenched in Google, it just made sense to do. So that's why I ended up choosing it. There might be better systems.
Okay, so we're going to slow the train down here a little bit. So again, when we're talking about Google Voice, what for the uninitiated, what we're saying is that you're getting a dedicated phone.
I have a dedicated line.
Dedicated phone number that routes through the Google suite.
Right, but here's one step more. Okay. So the Google number is sent to my phone and Raquel's phone at the exact same time.
Okay.
So whoever wants to answer it can. My work cell phone is also forwarded to the Google suite, so that all numbers really do come into that one space. The client doesn't know because they have that number, and I can answer my phone at any time, and I can tell whether it's coming from Google or coming from somebody within my, my database. But that's how that piece worked.
Got it.
Or works.
So you get a dedicated phone number that you're using for your marketing and your signs, right?
MLS.
And MLS. So when the agents call for inquiries, that it's using that number. When that phone rings, Raquel's phone rings, your phone rings.
Correct.
And any voicemail goes to a Google page, right? Or to the suite.
To the suite, which you can actually get transcribed. You can see some of the transcribing is pretty funny, but yeah, it's really easy and it's all in one place, so things don't get lost.
Right. Awesome.
Okay.
I
want to go back to when we were talking. You said to me, why do you think this matters?
Yeah, let's do that. Why does it matter?
Okay. Well, I'm such a free spirit, and what I said is, if you don't have to handle the minutia, then the minutia can't pull you down, and that's true.
Yeah, because you're not getting caught into it. You're not, with what you've installed here. It's like, it's a blessing and a curse normally, right? Where when you launch that listing and you're so excited that you're getting all this activity initially, until it starts to drown you. Because the phone and the inquiries and a lot of the inquiries are the same, and it's hard. Like, how do I separate out the agent question from the new prospect question to the neighbor question? How do you manage that when it's coming at you at the speed of light? Right.
And also, I get a lot of referrals. And so if I get a referral from someone and I don't get back to them in a timely manner, that doesn't look good. And I've had that happen to me. As a matter of fact, it ripped my heart out when it happened, but I did have that happen to me, and I have had it happen to me. This helps to alleviate that from happening again, because Raquel can see it. She can put it on my calendar when we're talking about calendaring. You need to call so-and-so immediately after this, and here's their number. This is what they were calling about, so that there's just another layer of doing your job better.
Right. I mean, it's, what I'm hearing here is some of the benefits, improved tracking, right? Because normally what happens is, if you just put your traditional cell number on your sign, it's dumping into your phone silo, your little world. And how do you share that with your team? And then how do you break that into categories? This is allowing you to do that. So you get improved tracking. You can separate out the agent inquiries from the consumer inquiries and have a separate process for handling those.
Yes.
That allows you to lean into your systems on those consumer inquiries, right? That will hopefully convert to future clients. And then, like you said, the most important one there, not losing people. And I've done it. It happens.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, oh gosh, I completely forgot about that 101st call that I received on this. So,
And that 101st person is just as important as the first.
100%.
They just happen to be calling you at a different time. And when your bandwidth gets so low over the, 100 calls before the 101, this really helps because there's a team working to make sure that the consumer and the agent are being taken care of, which ultimately means you're taking care of your client.
Right.
Yeah.
So great. So in terms of if somebody wants to get started here and embrace this tool, how do you get started?
So there's a couple of things you can do. And now I'm only speaking for Google, right? Because that's the one I ended up moving forward with. There is a number that you don't have to pay for that is based on just one single user, which I don't know why you would do that if you were going to do this. I think you need to have multiple eyes in there.
Right.
And then there's a paid version, and I believe I'm paying under $10 a month to have it. There's so many things you can do in Google Suite that I have no idea about. So you can, if you're techie, you could dig into that. But you create a Google Voice number. You can choose the area code that you want in your area. They give you a few numbers to choose from. It's actually easier than when you go to when you go to get a new cell phone number. It's super easy. Then I'm working with Raquel right now to do a sticker for my signs that I already have because I don't want to discard them. So there's a sticker that will have the new phone number on there. So that's in process right now. We talked about the actual call forwarding, which we already went through, which is pretty simple. It's really easy with both iPhone and Android. Both of those phones can use the system. It's actually an app on your phone. And so when I'm texting people from my cell phone, my work number, my work phone, I'm texting them through an app that's showing as the Google Voice number. And if I want to call somebody, I call them through the app on the Google Voice number so that it's really consistent for them.
Right. And I know for me, and when you were demoing this for me, the aha moment for me was seeing the Google page with all the calls and everything going on. It's just the light goes off. So folks, when you're thinking about this, get in and experiment with it and kind of be, open your mind up to the possibilities and what it can do of getting you out of a silo into more of a workspace that's shared.
Yes, absolutely. Don't go it alone, man.
That's right. And as we said, if you don't have to handle in the minutia, then the minutia can't pull you down. I love that. That's a really good one there. So I've committed. I've got 3 listings I'm prepping right now, so we'll be using this. I can't wait to report back and see how it goes. Beth's going to love it. I'm sure she's going to give that eye roll.
The stink eye. Jeez, Ed. God, I wish you weren't talking to Jefi so much.
Here we go again.
That damn Jefi and her ideas.
I know. So anyway, that's a wrap. Google Voice, check it out. See how it can leverage your time and give better customer service at the end of the day.
There we go. Thanks, Ed.
See ya.